This is Money Made Simple, the financial podcast that keeps it simple and gets to the point.
Kia ora and welcome to Money Made Simple, brought to you by Simplicity. Hi, Liv.
Hi, Jenny.
Now, I know it's still November, but I actually thought this would be a good time to talk about Christmas.
Yes, it's been a pretty fucking tough year. Sorry, Jenny's mum, for a lot of people. And I know, we don't like the swearing, but I like it. And so if you've been feeling stressed and stretched all year, probably longer than that, you're not alone at all. It is, we know it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and Christmas is a particularly stressful time of year, and it's financially stressful for a lot of people. So we thought today, despite everything that's gone on this year, we want to help people actually enjoy their Christmas and find ways to do it that don't stress them out and that are cost effective and still bring a little bit of Christmas joy to their lives.
So last year, I think it was said, I hope we didn't say, survive until 2025, right? But it kind of has now felt more like survive through 2025 and beyond.
That's what we said to ourselves in 2024 to make ourselves feel better. But then actually this year has been just as hard with the cost of living. New Zealand economy in general, there's been a lot of job losses this year. Hospitality has been struggling and retail, government have been tightening their belts. There's a lot of things that
High living costs, inflation seems never
feel a bit rubbish, really. But we've almost survived the year.
Yeah, but sometimes just surviving is a success, right? I think so. You put some stats in here for me.
I did, because you like stats.
I do like
put them
stats.
there for you.
So in the year to June 2025, over 53,000 people made KiwiSaver hardship withdrawals, which is something that's relevant to us as KiwiSaver provider. And that is up from around 18,000 5 years ago. So that's almost 3 times as much, right?
It is.
Although in saying that, the average withdrawal was around $8,000. I think probably just something to remember is that when you do a hardship withdrawal, you don't tend to be able to get your whole KiwiSaver balance out, right?
No, they will only allow you to get out exactly what you need to get yourself out of that financial situation, not just withdraw everything. We're always talking about keeping your eyes on the long term. And when you're thinking about making a hardship withdrawal, it's I'm going to have less in retirement and that's a worry. But actually sometimes now is just more important. Now trumps later, and getting through financially difficult time is important, and it's okay to put later on hold for a bit.
Yeah, while it's tough out there, I think the one thing to think about is there can still be space for joy and fun. And so you don't need to feel guilty for wanting to spend some money towards fun out of what you can afford to. And family time can bring that joy as well, right?
It really can. And like I said, when money is tight, time is your friend. It allows you to get organised, get creative, do some bargain hunting, and just generally avoid the panic shopping
and spending
that ends up costing lots and lots of money. So no matter what, not every family celebrates Christmas, but in New Zealand, the world kind of shuts down for a couple of weeks and there's no school and lots of offices are closed and people get that time together. So what we have done is we've pulled some hopefully useful ideas for celebrating Christmas or holiday in a really cost-effective way. Yes. I have heaps of ideas because I have spent quite a few Christmases on a really tight budget.
And you love Christmas, right?
I do. Like, you're not such a
No. I'm happy to talk about it, but you're the ideas gal here.
Yeah, okay. So let's go through some.
Yeah, so I think the first thing to do before you start the ideas is kind of just resetting your expectations. So talk to whānau friends, have those chats about the fact that you maybe want to scale back the expensiveness of Christmas this year. And you'd be surprised maybe, because we're all feeling it, like it's a tough economy out there. Like, people might actually feel relieved that you bring up that you want to scale it back, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Being on the same page is really important because otherwise it can cause other types of stress. If you've got kids, which I do, it's really important to set expectations with your children. Right. If they think Santa's coming and he's bringing loads and loads of prezzies and that doesn't happen, that might make them sad. But if you have that chat with your kids, it's...
And your cats, if you...
And your cats.
Yeah, I'll go tell my boys this afternoon. Well, not this year. It's been quality time. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to food and drink on a budget.
Okay.
Start with that.
So with that, we often host Christmas. I think I've mentioned that before.
Always host.
Yes, and the key is to start early. So already I am every week in my groceries within my set budget, I am picking up a little bit something extra for Christmas. Whether if I've got a little bit more, then I might put a bottle of wine in the groceries, or if I've got less, then I grab some crackers or a jar of olives or whatever. But I just do it every single week for about 12 weeks leading up to Christmas, and I end up with this sweet little box of goodness in the garage.
Put it away, right? Put it away where you can't see it.
Hide it, yes.
Because you've already had this issue.
I have already drunk some of my Christmas wine. That was only in the box for about a week, but now it's somewhere more hidden where I can't see it.
I love that. So also shop for the yellow sticker or the markdowns, the reduced to clear. Most of the stuff that's on markdown, even dairy and meat.
Pastries and croissants and stuff like that.
Yeah. So while you don't need them now, put them in the freezer. Most of them will freeze for a couple of months. And so if you can get the cheap stuff and then bring it out, it's going to be perfectly good. That pastry is going to crisp
heat up gorgeously in the oven.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Same with like shopping at supermarkets and just buying their own brand stuff rather than the more expensive brands. When you've put a cheese platter together, no one's going through the rubbish to see what the wrapping was, to see what that cheese was.
You have to be really pretty discerning to know it's what brand of brie it is, right?
Yeah. So that's another way to save a few pennies.
Yes. And of course, and I think we've talked about this before, I think you do it to some extent, is Potluck Christmas. So if you are always the host, make sure that you enlist help and just encourage people to bring at least a dish. No one's actually going to care or think that any less of you if they're encouraged to bring a dessert, right?
Yeah, my sister brings about a 17 kg trifle every year.
It's a lot of trifle.
And we eat it for days. Yes. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. And when you eat it for days,
yes, leftovers. That's another big one. So much. I actually meant to get a stat for this, but I didn't. But a lot of food is wasted at Christmas. So people stress, they spend money they don't have on food that they don't eat, which is just
a vicious cycle.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So if you can plan for the leftovers, then you make that food go further and you don't waste any food. Obvious ones like with your Christmas ham, you have some pasta in the pantry so that you can make a carbonara on Boxing Day
or at least
whatever.
bread, so you can make sandwiches rather than new stuff. Cool. Let's move on to presents. The first one that I want to bring up is because this is one close to my heart, is focusing on experiences. So I don't like things,
not stuff.
No. And so this could be from high end of the scale to low end of the scale. So massage is my favorite thing. Touch is my love language. But
hint.
Yeah. So that could be, $100 for a massage. If you don't, or tickets to some kind of concert or comedy gig, there can be quite cheap gigs around, or a cooking class even. So there'd be quite a range of different costed experiences. Right down to cheap stuff like, I think you were telling me about something that the Auckland Council puts on that I now can't remember.
They do gigs and movies in the park over Christmas, and I'm sure this would happen all over the country, that are free. So you could make up a little voucher for a picnic at a free movie or a free gig over the summer for someone. It doesn't have to cost heaps, but it would still be a fun night out.
Or it could be a cost-effective weekend trip, like a camping trip somewhere, and you give them a cute little voucher for that camping trip. So
spending time and doing fun stuff.
Yes, and maybe touch if you like massages.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay, I've written that on my Christmas list. More DIY or kind of meaningful gifts, and this is something that you need more time for, so you need to be thinking about it. You could do baking. If you're a sewer, you could be sewing some clothes for somebody. You could, if you're crafty, making things.
I'm not crafty, but I think
whatever your skills are.
Yes, and what you won't hate doing.
Yeah.
Because I hate baking, and so it would be no good for me to bake stuff for people. So try and think of stuff that you might enjoy and or might be good at that you can then use. I'm going to bring up a slightly more commercial one because I love
you're the head of marketing.
Yeah. So selling up a storm. Just gifting simplicity style. Could you think about gifting a small KiwiSaver or investment fund top up or contribution to someone that you love, which isn't so exciting at the time. It's cute because it's the gift that actually grows over time.
Yeah, if you did that for a child, they might not be so chuffed about it in the short term, but they'll be pretty stoked a few years down the track when that gift is grown.
Yeah.
Shopping smarter goes back to the kind of giving yourself time to do this, so none of that panic shopping. You've got the Black Friday sales coming up, but buyer beware, that make sure you are actually getting a bargain there, because that's not always the case. So if you can buy things during the year when they're on sale or in the lead up to Christmas, then that's a really good way to do it. Another thing that I think could work for my family too, actually, is giving kids or family members a voucher or a gift card for Christmas, and then part of the present is going shopping on Boxing Day in the sales.
Big sale.
And you know, like you go to a toy store and your child gets to choose a toy that they want, and
At 50% off.
at 50% off, exactly. So they might be able to buy 2 instead.
It means you have to be at the shops on Boxing Day.
I know, which is not everyone's cup of tea, but
a good way to save money. So that's a good way to save money in the actual presents. A way to save money on how many presents you have to buy would be doing the classic kind of Secret Santa stuff, where everyone just buys one gift for someone in particular. You can do online, like drawing names or out of a hat or whatever. And so, yeah, you just buy for one person. And if you have lots of kids in the family, so they're not going to obviously be going out and getting presents, you could kind of have where each adult buys 2, depending on how many.
We basically do that. We buy for one adult and one child in our family every Christmas.
Yeah, and there's a couple of variations on this kind of Secret Santa stuff. So you can go for like a swap, don't shop. So instead of actually spending money at all, everyone brings something that they own that they don't use, or
you just have to be careful that it wasn't used in last year's Secret Santa.
Regift. Yes, I think it's something that you got as a gift and you don't really want. But you might be surprised at what other people find useful compared to you.
Yeah. And the other thing is to put a limit on it, a price limit on a Secret Santa. So, you know, any family usually has people on different budgets and things. If one family member's got a lot of money and one doesn't, and it can feel a bit awkward. So if you put a limit on it, that can help. You could put a really low limit on it as well, like make it a $20 challenge or a $10 challenge, and then people have to get a little bit more creative with what they do. They might have to buy secondhand, they might have to buy some materials and make something, or
that just reminded me, another one could be you can only buy from op shops. We did that one year. I think another one, just to round that out, is Dirty Santa, where you get a generic gift, everyone gets one, and then you put it into the middle and you play the
so you can steal or pick a new present.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of ways to do it, but a good way to do things if you're on a budget and kind of make it meaningful.
I think that one works if you're a family that is used to buying lots and lots and lots of presents, and you buy for everyone, and then you move to the Secret Santa and everyone only has one present to open. It can feel a little bit sad, and it's over really, really quickly. So that Dirty Santa is actually a really good way of stretching out the fun, because it takes quite a lot of time for everyone to play. So that's a good one.
You could do both. You could do one Secret Santa and one Dirty Santa. So you get one gift for someone that you know who you're getting for, and then one generic gift for the game. Yeah. Cool.
Good times. Okay. And then, of course, the last thing would be, and you don't like Christmas, so this isn't your bag either, but decorating and traditions, the non-present food stuff. Decorations can be really expensive to buy in the store. You can still do that, but there's lots of ways to make or thrift decorations. I had one Christmas where I was absolutely broke, and I made all of my decorations out of paper. I just bought a ream of paper, and it was actually beautiful. We made little snowflakes, and we made those chain garlands and all those kind of things. We cut up some old Christmas cards, and it was fun to do with the kids, and it ended up looking beautiful, and it cost almost nothing.
A ream of paper.
Yeah.
And the world is your oyster. It's not just paper, like you can use shells for stuff.
So that's one way you can save a bit of money.
Also thinking about just Christmas traditions in general, like maybe starting your own kind of more cost-effective stuff, like on Christmas, instead of having a big like spread, you could just go down to the beach if you're near a beach, or if you're camping or whatever, and have a cute little beach breakfast. So prepare, I don't know, bacon butties or like croissants and strawberries, and you can make quite a cute little spread that's not like doesn't break the bank. Put
your togs on under your Christmas pajamas and wander down to the beach.
Yeah, and often like the beach will be quiet on Christmas morning, right? So it could feel quite like you have the beach to yourself, kind of special. Another one pre-Christmas usually would be the neighbourhood lights walk. Like a lot of towns and cities, I know Auckland has Franklin Road, and make a night of it that you take your family or go with friends.
Yeah, and maybe you do it a few nights before Christmas every year, and that's something that everyone looks forward to doing together.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one which I read about, which I really liked, was so you have advent calendars, right? And most of the time they have chocolate in them, and everyone loves them. The kids especially love them. But I saw this cute idea for a kindness advent. So in the days leading up to Christmas, you have a little thing that you do that is kind for someone else. So you might, instead of the chocolate, you might do something nice for your neighbours. You might you won't, but someone else might bake a cake for
I think
their...
you're going to say you won't be kind to your neighbours.
No, I mean, you would not the idea that baking a cake,
Yes.
you probably wouldn't
Yes.
do that. Or maybe you buy a gift and you donate it to one of the city missions, or when you do the grocery shop, you know how they always have the
Yes.
box where you can put food in there.
Or go volunteer. Like you could do one of them as a volunteer day for a charity.
Absolutely. So every day you just have a little thing that you do for somebody else. And I think
Adds
that
goodness to the world.
really does. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Another one, and this is from you, is an experience jar. I thought this was really cute, where you could do it with friends or with family, with the kids. Everyone writes down simple, not costly, fun things, like a movie night, in the lounge, or pancake breakfast, or a sunset walk, and everyone kind of puts their own one in, with your group, and then you draw one a week leading into Christmas or over the summer holidays, and kind of stretch out that Christmas, that joy of Christmas and special stuff.
That's cool to do with the family. It would have been cool to do with your flatties as well, or just any, whoever is around you.
So hopefully that's kind of given people a little bit, a few new ideas on some ways to save money this Christmas without kind of sacrificing too much of the fun and joy that Christmas is.
No, and I really want people to think that they don't have to, even if times are tough, you don't have to deprive yourself.
And say we're doing nothing this year.
You just have to find different ways to do the things that you normally do.
Yeah, I think it's partly about getting into the right money mindset here.
Yeah, it's really hard to always be good with money. Real life doesn't always allow that. And sometimes, you do have to look after your today self and not your future self. But if you can do both, if you can do things in a more cost effective way, still have the joy and keep your eyes on the long term, then that's great.
Exactly. And if this year you've made a hardship withdrawal because you really needed it, or you paused your KiwiSaver contributions, or you haven't been investing regularly or whatever, don't feel bad or anything, we know that was your way of looking after you now.
And it's probably going to get you into a better financial situation so that going forward, you'll be able to think longer term.
Just see it as a bit of a pause in your life that you needed to reset. But make sure when things pick back up, like when, just make sure you pick the ball back up again then. And that's the healthy money mindset, right? Yep. More flexible, being kind to yourself, and just being realistic.
We totally get it, that money is emotional as well, and this time of year there can be lots of guilt and pressure, and you're comparing yourself to other people and all that stuff. Focus on what you can control and what you can do, and hopefully we've given you some ideas about just some little ways that you can still enjoy the silly season without causing more stress for yourself.
And I think also just keep in mind, and Shamabel always says this, the economy will recover. It's shit right now, and it's gone on longer than everyone expected, and it's been worse than everyone expected. But there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Economies are cyclical; they go up and down, and so it's at some point, even though it's longer than exactly.
So I think we can wrap it up there. We'd love to hear some of your ideas though. If anyone out there has some really savvy ideas that they use in their own lives, ways of saving money or shopping smarter or anything like that, please do share them on all those platform thingies, like on Spotify or Apple or
comment
YouTube.
to us, any of our socials. And also if you've got a friend that you feel like might be a little bit stressed about Christmas and what's to come over this season, then share this episode with them.
Okay, so we're wishing you all in advance a happy and stress-free Christmas. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Ka kite anō.
Bye.
This podcast contains personal opinions and is intended to provide educational information only. It doesn't relate to your particular financial situation or goals and is not financial advice or recommendations. Simplicity New Zealand Limited is the issuer of the Simplicity KiwiSaver scheme and investment funds. For product disclosure statements, please visit Simplicity's website simplicity.kiwi.